I find that funny. Okay.
Yeah, so these things happen, but that, I don't know, that it's really hard to explain.
That's okay. I guess that's part of the culture. And you know what? Agar assi itho jaane ha, we accept it also. If we see it that way, we think, well, that's part of the culture. We're not expecting everything to be with licenses and all that kind of stuff.
So that's the corruption that I don't like. That's part of Indian culture.
But you know what? Believe it or not, the whole economy runs on it sometimes. Yeah. And you know, it's sad, but at the same time, I find it interesting that it can. It actually, the next person, duje bande nu pata hai कि वो क्या की रहा है और कर की रहा है. And you can pick that up also. So that would be one thing that you would take away from them.
I think so. Also, like the westernization that's going on.
Yes.
I think it's on the fringes of being too much.
Yeah.
I do think so. I like the more traditional culture. Like when you think of India, you think of the land of really deep-rooted spirituality and exoticness and all those things. It's becoming, they say it's developing now.
But it's losing that?
I think so.
Do you think you needed to go outside of Chandigarh to feel that whole exoticness and spirituality, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe you need to go in the Himalayas
yeah.
for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, you know, maybe. It depends also, like you said, where you are. And you know, the area has a lot to do with it. Agar tusi developed area andar ho, and I don't know, you tell me. If you're in a developed area, people are thinking, you know what, I'm living in a better house, I'm living in a Western development, for lack of better words. So maybe they want to think that way too.
Right.
Maybe. I don't
And it is like a new city. It doesn't have that ancient character that most other Indian cities do.
Okay, Chandigarh.
Yeah.
Really? I haven't been to Chandigarh, so I don't know.
It's really clean. That's what I like about it.
That's
yeah,
that's the second time you said it. It must really be clean.
It is compared to, it's the cleanest city in India.
Really?
I've heard. So, yeah, it's beautiful. It's just, it doesn't have that Indian charm. Like you see those ancient fortresses or something like that that you'd see in Delhi.
Yeah. So you would have to go outside of Chandigarh to experience that. Okay. Also tell me, with this westernization jehdi chal rahi hai, you see a lot of people with the Facebooks, the Twitter, the Orchid, There's so many social networking sites. Now, ithe jadon tusi dekho Facebook vaste, a lot of people use it for business media, and of course, kids like you, they look at it as a social media.
Yes.
How do you feel are people, log usme kis tarah adapt kar rahe hain? Because Facebook is very popular in India.
It is, and even before that, it was Orchid.
Orchid, yeah.
Orchid, yeah. That was a huge thing.
That was a huge thing, but Orchid I don't think did that well here.
Yeah,
India,
it didn't.
Yeah,
it didn't.
US andar inna nahi sunya usde bare, it's mostly people in India. But you don't even hear Orchid anymore. It's Facebook.
Right.
In India, that's like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
I felt it was really, I don't know, I feel like people spend more time on Facebook over there than we do over here.
Really?
But that's just like my experience.
Yeah.
My aunt, she was on it all day long playing Farmville or something. So.
And she enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's really popular with wives in India because they don't work and they have nothing else to do for the most part.
So it's easy. But do you think it's better ki oh computer te suppose they're playing games or whatever than to sit and watch TV?
I think it's way better than the drama serials that they watch.
So it's not corrupting their minds?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Farmville is safe then.
Yeah.
We'll let them watch the Farmville. But do you think if you had to introduce something else to them, like, you know, agar wo karte hai ke, these ladies karte baithe ne, or agar wo Farmville or Facebook or kuch kar rahe ne, do you think there are other things they can also be doing while they're at home?
Of course. I mean, yeah, they could spend time with helping the poor, those kinds of things, relieving poverty. And I'm sure lots of people do that. I think
sure
they do.
Okay.
And of course, there's nothing productive that comes out of Facebook.
I'm sure of
usually.
that. Exactly.
And so if they want to waste their time like that, I've heard a lot of things like they've been able to reconnect with their old friends.
Yes.
So yeah, that's
you know, it's good. Also good because think about it, Karan. If you're a teenager here, right? How many times तुसी कितनी बारी phone चुक के call करके अपने uncles nu, cousins nu uthe gal karoge.
Right.
Hardly ever.
Right.
Your mom and dad might, but you probably won't. But now if you have them as your Facebook friend, suppose Facebook te hi hello vi agar hondi, at least there's an interaction. You're staying connected with them.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe that's a positive aspect of it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is, definitely. Because I wouldn't have been able to talk to my uncles who live in Scotland or any other place, like all the way in the Himalayas without Facebook.
Okay. So see, that's one positive aspect of it.
It is, yeah.
Okay. Now also, a lot of different things you've brought pictures also with you. Jehdi assi next break to baad vi dekhange. Now tell me, not so much about the pictures just yet, but about the whole culture itself. Okay. Your parents both are working parents?
Yes.
Okay. Now you see the moms and all staying home there, right?
Yeah.
I know your mom is very involved with different organizations also, helping people, doing this, there's always something or the other going on. Okay. Jehde India andar ladies karte ne, do they have uthe is tarah de organizations, or at least have you heard of it, ki uthe organizations hain jithe they can go and do something and be productive? And like you said, not help relieve poverty, but do something else where they can apna time deke volunteer karke aur kuch bhi kar sakte ne.
Of course, there are a lot of organizations in India.
There are.
A lot.
Okay.
Of course, you never know if the money's going straight to those, to the people who deserve it. But there are plenty of places where you can spend time, your time, and give money or whatever. And I think if, like my mom does it all the time. She's been doing it since she was very little. It just depends on what kind of person you are. A lot of these ladies who don't work in India, if they choose not to do that, that's fine. But there are a lot of people in India. There will always be someone to help, I think.
Somebody.
Right.
Okay, so there's always those opportunities available out there.
Opportunities, and because there's so many people, like in America, we're thinking on a limited basis that everybody, I don't know, that in India, I feel that if one housewife doesn't want to help, there will always be another one because there are so many people.
Okay, but do you think it's also trickle-down effect ki there, like ithe, you don't need to have, I don't need to have my cousin or my sister-in-law or my best friend or somebody, zaruri nahi hai ki agar wo help kar rahe ne, tahi main utھ ke help karan. I might be the first person to get up and say, "ठीक है, तुसी नहीं कर रहे हो, I want to do it. I'll do it." And मैंने देखी हो सकता है other people will do it, right? But a lot of times, you know, there's always so many people here and so many organizations. Do you think people in India have that also, where I shouldn't do it because she's not doing it, so why should I waste my time with it?
Yeah.
You know, or if she's doing Facebook, I should do Facebook too, or find out what it's about. Do you think that's also the thing?
I do think so. But then at the same time, I feel like people don't have that much time. Housewives will not always have, I don't know, my aunt somehow has time all day long. But I don't think all people in India have time to be on Facebook all day because they do work. They have to clean clothes for the homes and cook and do those types of things.
And they don't have the kind of facilities that we do.
Right.
Because we're going to see some of your pictures that show us
Yeah.
some of the things people are doing that we take for granted here.
Yes.
All right, so you know what? We'll take another break. ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ break ਲੈ ਕੇ ਹੁਣੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਨੇ ਆ, and then we're going to show you some pictures ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਰਨ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਅੰਦਰ ਲਿੱਤੇ ਸੀ, which give you a glimpse of how he sees things also in India. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.